Hello everyone and welcome to another brand new video. Today we're going to be going over the most recent episode of Pokemon Horizons, and this one picks up right where we left off last week. Liko, Roy, Dot, Freed, and Diana had gone to the Crystal Pool where they wound up summoning Ristal, who is a ancient descendant of Liko and her family, and she was the wife of Lucius, who is Liko's great-great-grandfather. We learned that last week. And so this episode is basically entirely flashback, where Ristal explains the creation of the original Explorers group, which was her, Lucius, and Gibeon. So the three of them essentially met up, and they were all trying to find Laqua, and in doing so, they ended up finding the Lacuium, I think it's called, those pink crystals that make the Pokemon go crazy. They ended up finding those, but unfortunately Gibeon wanted to use that power for himself. So Lucius and Terapagos and the other ancient hero Pokemon had to be able to stop and defeat him, which they were able to end up doing, but this ended up separating them from Ristal and of course Gibeon in the long run, which I'm going to definitely need, and we're all going to need subs and the dub for this one, because I really need to know how Gibeon is still alive after all this time, but I'm sure there's some explanation here for that. But either way, long story short, the entire episode was really just a flashback, and I definitely recommend you guys check it out for yourselves, like I said, because it really is better if you watch it for yourself to learn all of the details of what happened. So again, most of everything was just the exploration between the three of them and what happened to cause them to end up where they are today. But the most important thing of this episode happened at the very end, where Liko finally officially caught Terapagos. Now, I really didn't even expect that to happen. That was a surprise for me, because I figured that Terapagos was just going to be, a kind of side companion for the entire rest of the series. I didn't expect Liko to catch it, because I figured, why didn't she catch it already? But either way, I guess now she has Ristal's blessing and she was able to catch it, so that's pretty good. Overall, this looks like it's going to be the conclusion for this portion of the lore for the story. Diana ends up leaving after this as well, and it looks like the gang is going to move on toward catching Entei, who is the last of the regular 6 heroes who they haven't met yet, and then after Entei, I'm sure they're going to go after Rayquaza. So definitely a pretty interesting episode. I really liked seeing the backstory of how the original Explorers group came to be. I really do still want to know how they ended up separating from or growing into the modern day Explorers and separating from, Liko's ancestors, because I find that very interesting, why they lost that connection. I mean, I'm sure it's because that Gibeon, was trying to use the Lacuium crystals for evil, but either way, I'm sure we'll get more of that as the time goes. But for today, this was a good amount of information for us, and the best part, again, like I said, was definitely Liko finally catching Terapagos. So yeah, we'll see where things end up going from here. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this episode, and I will see you all next time. Thank you!